Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I need to make this quick because I actually need to skedaddle to my second job, but I have about 45 minutes, well more like 30 minutes because I have to finish this up and get ready. So today we are talking about Extreme Sisters Season 1 Episode 3 called We Want a Fairy Tale. I have recapped other episodes which will be in the eye down below and on my on my dresser, on my channel in general. Be sure to check them out. So let's just get right into it. Let's just get right into the. I don't think anything was cringeworthy today. Ah, well, yes it was. Okay. First, we were introduced to Brittany and Briana. They are twins, identical twins. Like I had said in my previous recap on episode 2, I had remembered seeing them, I think it was like Inside Edition or something, um, where they did a quick little story about them because they were twins that married twins, and I guess that's a big deal. I wonder how often that happens. Probably not often. Ever? Is that a Guinness? No, that can't be the first time that happened. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's really interesting now that I think about it. Especially especially because it's like identical twins marrying identical twins. Interesting. Anyway, going on one of my tangents. So we were introduced to Brittany and Briana. I forget how old they said they were. I'm not sure if they said actually. But okay, the way that we were introduced to them is kind of cool. So one of them came like knocking on the door with a little candle, and y'all, they have an elevator in their house. Okay. So of course right away I'm like, whoa, what is this? So they said that every morning they sneak downstairs. It was like 5 a.m. and they eat chocolate. So they married identical twins. They met at a twins festival and they had a double wedding. And the other interesting part is that their husbands also love to dress identical. So it's like identical twin sisters who dress alike, married identical twin brothers who dress alike. So it's like everywhere you go, you're really seeing double. I could not really tell them apart the entire show. I feel like if I studied their faces a little bit more, maybe I could. Um, But yeah, I could barely tell them apart. I feel like the men have a distinctiveness, but I couldn't put my finger on it. But yeah, if you, no, I can't. The only way I can really tell the women apart is that one is pregnant, one isn't. That's the only way I can tell the women apart. The men, I feel like, do one of them have like a dimple or something and that's a way to tell them apart? I don't know. Anyway, they're identical. So, Brittany and Briana. Let's see. Um, Subtle flex. They live in a huge home. And when I say huge, they did like I guess it was a drone cut. It's like this huge property. They said that they just bought a property. They didn't say a home, they said a property. Okay. They have private living quarters, but the reason that they bought such a big place is because they want to have weddings and events there, I guess. So it's gonna have like private living quarters, and then I guess the rest of it is gonna be for their business. So I'm like, okay, cool. So they said that the ladies work at a law firm. I don't think they mentioned what the men do though, what their husbands did. I don't remember that. So the women work at a law firm. It really is like a castle that they are living in. So I didn't write it down. One of them had a baby 3 months ago, baby Jet, and they said that they are raising him like he has four parents. And I had rambled on about this before because technically he has four parents, I guess, in the eyes of DNA, because his mom and dad's DNA is the same as his aunt and uncle's DNA. And so technically he has four parents DNA wise, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then they actually made an interesting distinction, at least the women did. They said that if they had always wanted to marry twins. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Nope, went away. They had always wanted to marry twins, and they actually said that if they had never found twins to marry, that they wouldn't have ever gotten married or had kids. Well, it's back. Woo! Bless me. Excuse me. Um, and they said that the husband felt the same way. So I'm wondering, did they ever date anyone who wasn't a twin? You know? Because that's probably, would that be like a waste of time? I don't know. I guess they were looking for someone who understood their dynamic, which obviously they found the perfect people that understood their dynamic. But it just makes me wonder if they ever dated anyone that wasn't a twin. Yeah. So, like I said, one of them had a baby, and the other one is actually pregnant with another baby. So yeah, their kids are going to be full siblings, not cousins. Yeah, that's interesting. So they were on the phone with their mom, and their mom suggested that one couple stay home and another couple go out on a date. And the awkward pause that ensued was awkward. It was almost like, why would you suggest that? And then they actually said in a confessional that they have never been on individual dates. So I don't know who's married to who, but it's Brittany and Briana and Jeremy and Josh, I think. So the couples have never individually gone on a date. It's always been a foursome, never just two of them going out on a date. And the guys in the confessional were like, I don't know why we would ever do that. Like, why would she suggest that? And it almost seemed like one of the husbands was like, this might be a good idea, and then the other one was like, no, it's not. And then he was like, oh, no, 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 it's not a good idea for right now. No, why would, no. I'm starting to see a little bit of a crack there. You can't fool me. So then one of the couples, they like flipped a coin to see which couple was going out on the date, because obviously someone had to stay home with the baby. And so it was Brittany and Josh. Brittany and Josh went out on the date. I wrote it down. Yay me. So they went out on the date, and when I say this date was awkward, I mean it's awkward. Like, they didn't talk. Lord knows how long, because I'm sure they had to cut the footage at some point. But it reminded me of when parents have kids and they're like, oh, we're gonna go do date night, but no talking about the kids. And so they go out and the only thing they can talk about the kids, because that's exactly what happened. The only thing they pretty much talked about on the date was the fact that their brother, his brother and his sister, or his brother and her sister were not on the date. That's pretty much all they talked about the full date. They talked about the baby Jet, because it was Brittany that had the baby. It was like they had nothing else to talk about besides the fact that their twin was not there. And then Josh pointed out the fact that he doesn't like that people say that they are codependent on their twin. So I actually looked up the definition of codependent, and it's characterized by excessive emotional or psychological reliance on a partner, someone who cannot function on their own and whose thinking and behavior is instead organized around another person, process, or substance. Now, they said that they're not codependent on each other. Do I think that they have their... Well, let me just put in the comments. Are they codependent? I mean, I just read the definition. I definitely think the second one kind of applies. Someone who cannot function on their own and whose thinking and behavior is instead organized around another person. They went on a date. They barely talk to each other about anything except their twins. So does that mean that they're codependent on their twin for conversation? I mean, I think that Brittany even mentioned it, that Briana would be the one who's kind of steering the conversation. So I don't know if I would say codependent. What I would say is that they are attached at the hip. Um, I mean, the producers even asked, hey, since one of you is staying home and one of you is going out on a date, can you guys dress differently? And they're like, absolutely not. So, yeah, I'm kind of wondering about it. They said they're not codependent. They said it's a choice, the way that they're living. It's a choice. So, I guess, yeah. Eventually, they ended up calling he ended up calling his twin, she ended up calling her twin, and they like had the phone up, holding up the phone at dinner so that they could see what was going on. He like ordered his brother a steak so he could take it all home, and she only ate half her meal so she could take it home to her sister. So thoughtful, you decide, I guess. But yeah, that was the introduction to Brittany and Briana. So next we have Jess and Christina, and they're interesting. So as from before, they are kind of arguing about Christina's new boyfriend, John. Jessica does not like him. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She's very vocal about that fact that she does not like him at all. But Christina, I think, is starting to see the light. She kind of took into account Jessica's ex-husband saying that she interfered in their relationship, and Christina and Jessica's relationship is why that they're divorced, and she's kind of seeing that's not healthy. So she actually said that she realizes that they interfere too much in real relationships, and she's kind of at the point where she's like, she feels like she's either going to lose her relationship or her sister. So they decided to, if you don't remember, they're psychics, and they decided to ask the universe for help with this situation. And so they went to the woods and they got naked. Yeah, they went to the woods and they got naked. And they did that because they said that that's how it all began. So that's how it should be when they're asking the universe for help. And then they hung up a pendulum, and it reminded me of like that thing that you do to determine if you're having a boy and girl, where if it's in a circle, it's like a boy, and if it's back and forth, it's a girl, or whatever the results are supposed to be. And one of the questions Christina asked was, is Jessica the reason for our rift right now? And the universe was basically saying, yes, Jessica is the reason for your rift. So they kind of agreed to work on it. And one of the things that Christina said was, what's important to you does not have to be important to me. And I think she's trying to establish that boundary of, we don't always have to do the same thing all the time. It's like when they say, or I've heard this, that your significant other should have hobbies for themselves, and you should have hobbies for yourself, and then you should have hobbies together. Kind of like establish your own circle, kind of. Don't be all dependent on your partner. So I think she's kind of trying to do that with her sister, saying, hey, you can have your own life, I can have my own life, and then we can life together, but we don't have to intertwine every single aspect of our life. And I don't think Jessica gets that at all. Not yet. And another thing that Christina said was to be nice to John. And I think you can guess how that went, because it went left, as you can imagine. Because later on we find out that Christina is John's first relationship. This is like his first relationship. Yeah, that's what she said. I was going to say adult relationship, but no, it's his first relationship. And they moved in together. He moved into Christina's house, and she had not told Jessica yet. So I think you can kind of guess how this is going to go. But his stuff has been in the guest room because I guess she doesn't want Jessica coming over and like finding his stuff in her room. He's literally living out of suitcases. So, very nice. But yeah, he's been moved in for 2 weeks and his stuff has been in the guest room. So, here's my issue with what happened. So, Jessica came over and she could tell that something was off. So, John was actually the one who said that he had moved in. That was my first issue. And this is the part where I agree with Jessica that Christina should have been the one to say it. I mean, it's her sister, so, and she's the one that is having like the contention. So Christina should have been the one to tell Jessica that he had moved in. I agree. And then John kind of said like, "What's your issue with me? Why don't you like me?" And she said something about the phone. I recorded it. I'm going to insert it now.
So I received a message from John that's really, really rude. I'm gonna read it. You will stop talking about me behind my back. If you have a problem with me, you will say it to my face. Not through text, not through social media, not through Christina. You will say what problems you have to my damn face. I don't have secret beef with you. I don't glare at you. I don't give a about you. Get over yourself.
Right now, AJ. The recording... No, not the recording. I'm going to insert the text message because Jessica read it aloud. And besides the cursing, because I don't think he should have cursed at her, I personally see his point. I think he should have delivered it better. You know, texting takes on a different tone than speaking in person. So in that regards, I think he should have worded it better. But basically, he was saying, whatever you have to say to me, say it to my face. Stop talking about me behind my back. Stop saying these things behind my back. Say it to my face. And I'm like, okay, you know, that's a valid point. Stop talking about me and our relationship behind my back. Like, if you don't like me, say it to my face. So, but what's interesting about this whole text message is that in a confessional, Christina actually said that her sister deserved the message. So it seems like Christina has been, you know, burying a lot of things and it's all coming to the surface. And yeah, that's just what it seems like to me. It seems like she's kind of felt this way for a while, and then John is kind of like supporting her in her decision to address the situation, kind of situation. So eventually Jessica and John start going back and forth about this message, and she's like, "I don't like you," and whatever. And Jessica's like, "Oh, I want to talk to my sister." And he's like, "No, she doesn't want to talk to you." And he said that Christina effing hates you. So yeah, I don't think he should have said that. That was going too far. For you to imply that her sister hates her is very strong. It's not kind. However, Christina didn't exactly say no, and this is something else that Jessica pointed out. Christina did not say, I mean, she tried to like stop John, but she didn't say, "Hey, don't say that." You know what I'm saying? Like, she should have said, "Whoa, that's going too far." So after John delivered that message, Jessica basically said that my life will now revolve around the fact that I'm gonna try to break you two up. So yeah, that is going to be her life's mission. She said it in a confessional as well. She's like, "I'm determined to break them up." However, something else that John had said when they were going back and forth is that he said that Jessica bullies Christina. And I felt like Jessica now saying that she is determined to break them up kind of confirms the fact that she bullies Christina. I don't know if I would go so far as bully, but maybe he just meant that she influences her decisions. At least that's how I would take it. So for you to now say that you are determined and you're gonna make sure that your sister breaks up with her boyfriend, it kind of solidifies the fact that you do influence a lot of her decisions and you don't let her make decisions for her own. So I just want to know in the comments, what do you think about this fight that they had between John and Jessica? I definitely think that John should have left and let the sisters talk it out. I don't think he should have been the one to deliver the news of them living together. And I think he should have just walked away. I mean, Jessica was coming at him saying, you're 24, you don't know what it's like living with a mother and her 2 kids. And he tried to say, how would I ever get that experience? Which is true. How are you going to fault him for saying he doesn't know about living with a mother and 2 kids? What do you want him to go out and date only mothers? And what? He made a valid point. He's like, no, I don't know, but I'm going to learn because I'm now in that experience. You know, that didn't make sense. That was such a random point to bring up. But obviously she's trying to attack his age and says that he's not experienced and, you know, he needs to be older. And he's like, I can't change my age. What am I supposed to do? Which is another valid comeback. You want him to be older? He's not. He's 24. He can't age, 13 years just because, you know? But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see where they go from here, because obviously Christina, I guess, loves John and wants to be with him, but obviously Jessica doesn't like him. So how do you... It's been the 2 of them like attached for 37 years, and now here comes John and he's kind of like severing that tie. So yeah, this should be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And last but not least, we have Patrix and Patrica. So as you know, these 2, sorry, sitting on my legs there now, fully asleep. These 2, they said that they like to go skating like a few times a week, which is so cool. I love when people say that skating is their hobby. I have tried rollerblades, and have they ever been on skates? I think I've been on skates before, but I'm not good at it. I'm that person that in order to stop, I have to run into a wall. I've never learned how to stop properly. Yeah, but I always admire those videos of people like just skating so gracefully and effortlessly. Like, y'all are so cool. Y'all don't have to run into a wall or anything. Even with ice skating, to stop ice skating, I have to run into a wall. I don't recommend it. It's not graceful. It's not cute. But anyway, they go skating. Ron was in the back of the car while they're driving, and Ron, sorry, my foot is really asleep. Ron basically said that in order to go out on a date with his wife, that he has to tag along to their sister dates. And she was like, no. Patrica was like, no, that's not true. And then he said, when was the last time we went out on a date? And she couldn't come up with one. In fact, for their 20th anniversary, they went to Dollywood, and Patrix came with them to their anniversary. So, yeah. Attached at the hip. Attached at the hip. Yeah, I would be very upset. Very upset. But it is what it is. So, basically, Ron divulged the plan that he is going to set up Patrix, and she is not looking forward to it. I thought he was going to try to do it like secretly and not tell her, but he divulged it, and she basically said, no, that's not happening. But yeah, it seems like she's open to it, but she's also very hesitant about it. I think at one point he even said, or her sister said, hey, if you find someone, are you going to delay Orlando? And she said she doesn't think that she's ever going to find anyone to delay her from going to Orlando. So I feel like Their plan is not going to work. There's no way. She is determined to go to Orlando. So I don't, she said herself that no guy is going to stop her from going. So I really thought that they were going to be like secretive about it. Like, you know, she'd be grocery shopping and then all of a sudden a guy comes up and pretends that he doesn't know her and he's like, hey, what's up? But I'm thinking Hallmark Channel because that's always what they do in Hallmark Channel. Man, Hallmark, just like the movies, they are always, this is a total tangent. Hallmark always has the same movie, same plot, same everything. It's like girl has a boyfriend, but then she goes back home because, you know, grandma's sick, and then she runs into her high school sweetheart and sparks fly, yet she still has the boyfriend, and then the boyfriend shows up and she's like, oh my word, Johnny, what are you doing here? And then, you know, 30 minutes later, she's just like, Johnny, I can't be with you anymore. And then she goes to go find her high school sweetheart, but he's packing to go to Asia for 3 months. And then she's like, no, don't go. Don't go. And then he's like, okay, I'll stay. We can raise our family here together. That's Hallmark for you. But you know who be cranking out the movies? LMN. Now I am shocked about LMN. I really am. I don't ever remember Lifetime cranking out movies like this. But LMN, they have like their themes. What is it? Family Secret Friday or something like that. Family Friday, and then it's Tainted Tuesday or Twisted Love Thursday or whatever. I mean, their movies are good. They're really good movies. Anyway, that was the end of Extreme Sisters. What do you think of it? Do you think that there's any way to repair this relationship with Jess and Christina? Because it seems torn apart already. Have you ever had a sibling try to break up your relationship? I mean, that's like a whole nother level. Yeah, that's the end of Extreme Sisters. Yay! Okay, I'm done. I can go get ready for work now. Yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Bye. In frame. Bye.